Ayo, um, I'm back with another one, and today I sit with the question that asks, who are you? Who are you? Because I think a lot of us don't know who we are, you know. We know what we're told we are, like, we're told we're creative, we're told we're funny, we're told we're messy, we're told we're, all types of things. But underneath all of that, I think there's a discovery to be made in who we actually are. And I've been like kind of battling the concept a little bit because I think in who we think we are, sometimes there's like a limited belief in our potential, because who we are told to be kind of becomes our identity, as opposed to who we discover ourselves to be becoming our potential. So it's a little like, the more I'm growing and exploring different ideas, the more I'm like kind of moving through time and experiences, the more I'm realizing that like I've been presenting a lot of like limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs, which have kept me at a certain place, not allowing me to grow past my said identity. Who we are changes based off of the environment that we're in. Even in asking yourself who you are, it's important to acknowledge that like who you are changes based on the environment, the situation. So, being able to switch on and off the different modes based off of the different environments kind of becomes important. I think being able to equip yourself with the knowledge of how to respond in certain situations would then make your identity fluid, And outgrowing those ideas is also a little bit difficult because it feels a little bit like a reintroduction, and then it also feels like I kind of need to reintroduce the people who know me to this new idea that I have about myself and like how I plan to move, past certain things, or how I plan to approach, my life or my creativity or whatever. And yeah, I think with outgrowing that, there's a lot to kind of reverse and unlearn. And with the potential, there's a lot of practice, right? Because I think there's the part where you letting go and there's the part where you picking up. And in the picking up, like you might strain your muscles, you might strain your emotions, you might find yourself in a place where you like kind of not necessarily feeling stuck, because obviously you're moving towards this thing, but you're a little tired. I guess you're not necessarily used to exerting yourself in this manner, I mean, like some of the things that I kind of grew up hearing about myself is like, I'm not organized, or like I don't really care, or just a bunch of like things that are just getting in the way of like who I'm actually supposed to be. when it comes to moving into this next chapter of my life. And so, for instance, like with the organization or my organizational skills, I've actually had to like put in real measures to make sure that like I actually know where all my shit is. I'm following like a schedule of sorts. I'm stepping up to that person because I'm no longer subscribing to the version of myself that's like not organized, you know. And then there's a bunch of other ideas, even around my creativity, that I'm having to learn to work back and approach with the perspective that has to be like an expansive perspective, you know, not a limiting perspective. So yeah, I think it becomes very important to know who you are, but more than knowing who you are, because I guess we've kind of established that you kind of just become who you told you are. It becomes more important to kind of discover who you are, you know. And sometimes it could be rediscovering who you are. And then going on the process of, you know, building yourself up with new ideas, new knowledge, showing up for your dreams, because the dream itself kind of exposes what it needs of you, you know. So just equipping yourself to be the kind of person that you wish to be.